Keeper of the Lost Cities, Everblaze, Chapter 43. Sophie had no idea what an ogre's mind was supposed to feel like, but she definitely wasn't expecting it to be so soft and blank. No color, no sound, just a thick, endless sea of fuzzy white nothing, like trying to shove her way through a giant ball of cotton. She took a deep breath, rallying her mental energy as she tried to decide if a brain push would be too risky. She knew from past experience that she could slip in and out of a mind completely undetected, but if she pressed it too hard, she could accidentally give herself away. Deciding to play it safe, she tried to imagine her mind sweeping away the cottony thickness in layers, like carefully pulling back sheer drapes, trying to find the window underneath. Each pass did seem to brighten the fog around her, revealing hints of shadows and shapes, and filling the silence with traces of whispers, but nothing she could translate or recognize. Maybe if she— "Sophie, please stop," Fitz begged, shaking her so hard, knocking her off her balance. She was about to ask him what he was doing when she noticed Keith was pointing. King Dimitar stood in the middle of the path, and his eyes were locked on her. "Oh, counselors," the king called, his lips curling back to show every one of his pointed teeth. "Perhaps you can explain why this little girl has taken it upon herself to probe my mind without my permission. And don't even think about denying it," he told Sophie, as gasps echoed around the silent woods, along with a squeaky groan which seemed to have come from Sandor. "I felt you the second you slipped in." Sophie tried to choke down the lump in her throat, but it wouldn't budge. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have." "No, you shouldn't," King Dimitar agreed. "And sorry doesn't change the fact that you just violated our treaty." Their treaty, Sophie thought, her world spinning too fast around her. "She didn't know," Counselor Emery shouted over the flurrying of raised voices. "Sophie is very new to our world and still learning about the specifics of our law. She's what you might call a special case." The crowd fell silent as King Dimitar stroked his lumpy chin. "I see nothing special about her." "Neither do I," someone nearby muttered, stirring around grumblings. "Breathe, Foster," Keith whispered, giving her palm a real quick, reassuring squeeze. She clung to his hand like it was keeping her alive, and forced herself to take a shaky breath. "So tell me," King Dimitar asked, turning back to the council, "if she's new to your world, where has she been all this time?" Counselor Emery closed his eyes, deliberating with the other counselors. Before they came to a decision, someone in the crowd shouted, "She was raised by humans!" "Humans!" King Dimitar snarled. "I thought the elves had severed the ties with those vermins." "We have," Counselor Emery promised. "Like I said, Sophie is a special case." "Well then, let's see how special she is." King Dimitar stalked towards Sophie, sending the crowd around her scurrying. Sophie locked her knees, begging them not to give out as she faced the monstrous king. From the corner of her eye, she could see Sandor fighting his way toward her, but the fleeing masses kept knocking him back. Only Fitz and Keith stayed by her side, though Sophie had a feeling Bianna was hiding nearby. The king leaned so close Sophie could smell his breath, rotten meat and burned garlic, as he sniffed her hair and said, "I feel everything that goes in my head. Everything. Do you?" "Yes," she managed to stutter. King Dimitar's eyes narrowed, and Sophie braced for him to raise one of his massive arms and smash her. Instead, Bianna reappeared with a yelp, as she, Fitz, and Keith dropped to their knees, covering their ears and squeezing their heads. "What's wrong?" Sophie shouted, trying to shake them out of whatever was happening. "What are you doing?" "The better question," King Dimitar said, as he relaxed his brow and halted whatever torture he'd been delivering, "is why didn't it work on you?" "Like the counselors already said, Sophie is special," Alden spat, as he pushed his way to his children's side. Grady and Edeline were right behind him, and they pulled Sophie close as Sandor moved in front of them and straightened to his full height, leaving the king in his shadow. "Those children you just harmed were innocent," Sandor snarled. "Guilty by association," the king argued. "And they'll be fine in 1 minute. Meanwhile, this one—" He reached for Sophie, and Sandor shoved his hand away. King Dimitar laughed, a wet, gurgly sound. "You have no place here, goblin. That girl is my charge." "Is she now?" His eyes traced over Sophie, lingering on the scar on her hand. Raised by humans, strange talents, and a bodyguard. I've heard rumors that the elves had a new trick up their sleeve. I just never expected it to be such an unimpressive package. Sophie is not a trick, Alden assured him. She's a child who made a very grave mistake, and she will be punished accordingly. Yes, she will, King Dimitar agreed, slamming his gigantic fist into Sandor's stomach. Sandor dropped to his knees, coughing and wheezing, and the king grabbed him by the shoulders and tossed him to the nearby wanderling. Sophie wasn't sure if the loud crack was the tree or Sandor's head, and when she tried to run to check on him, King Dimitar snatched her wrist. This child invaded my mind and challenged my authority, he shouted, dragging her to his side. That means I get to decide the punishment, and I've decided she's coming back to Ravagarg with me to serve a life sentence.